part 2 of plant growth and development. So we left off here, and I just want to reiterate, I do not want you to memorize the signal transduction pathway. I just want you to remember that it's similar to what happens in animal cells. That plants are not special, they're not different, they have a lot of the same mechanisms that animal cells do. Okay, moving on to our different hormones. So I told you ethylene is the ripening promoting one, and just here's a picture to remind you that green tomatoes in the presence of ethylene will turn to red tomatoes. Voila. Another example to show you that plants use signal transduction. So cytokinin has a cell membrane receptor as opposed to the other guys, axin and gibberellin, that were made it through the cell membrane and had a receptor in here. But cytokinin is going to behave in a similar way. It's going to bind on the outside, then come in, activate a pathway that phosphorylates another protein that they're not even giving you the name of here. I don't want you to know. That protein could move into the nucleus. That activates a transcription factor, turns on a gene. Gene has an effect. If this is cytokinin, one of the effects could be to signal that the cell's supposed to divide. So it's kind of sounding like something that we talked about in the fall in animal cells, that we have tyrosine kinase receptors, blah, 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 turn on genes, activate the cell cycle. So just another hit in the head that plant cells have hormones that do similar things that animal cells do. They just do it in a different way. Here's just a graphic showing how cytokinin can delay senescence. So senescence is a fancy word for dying, or going slowly, stop growing and stop producing. So this detached leaf, you can put it in water. We all know that they'll hang around for a little while. If you treat that leaf with cytokinin, it helps to delay the cell death process. And here's a mutant showing you that if it's a mutant, it doesn't have the signaling pathway for brassinosteroids, it has stunted growth, the normal plant works fine. So again, the brassinosteroids probably work through a signal transduction cascade that turns on gene transcription, blah, 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 that would end up in nice cell growth. So now this is a concept that drives people crazy every year, and it's really not that hard. They're learning more and more about the molecular biology of plants, and unfortunately we're not going to give this phenomena a special name of the protein. We're just going to talk about a phytochrome, which I could put the name up on here. Phytochrome which is a molecule that, whoops, don't want to do that, responds to light. More in the line of signal transduction again, but now we're not responding to a hormone, we're responding to light. Now remember, in the light spectrum, we have Roy G. Biv, so red, orange, yellow, blah, 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 violet. You can go beyond red, and that would be far red light. So this phytochrome responds to red light, and it responds to far red light. When it's hit with red light, it converts to this PFR, and then this PFR can absorb far red light and convert back into PR. And they keep going in circles. And depending on which stage it's in, it can induce seed germination, flowering, and shoot development. In fact, they put it in the next chapter, and I'll wait to talk about it again there, about how plants respond to different light cycles, and control their flowering. So I'll talk about that later, but now we'll talk about this sensing molecule, this phytochrome. So here it is in a animated sort of in the cell. So again, this light blue is the cytoplasm. This pinkish stuff is the nucleus. So they're calling it a chromophore. This is the phytochrome. The chromophore is the sensing thing that detects the light. So it's the absorbing red light in this case, absorbs far red light in this case. And they have a nice picture showing you that when it gets induced to this conformation, it attracts, or it opens up the nuclear localization signal sequence, and it also opens up the protein kinase domain. So basically, this phytochrome, with the presence of light absorbed onto the chromophore, which is a green dot, changes conformation and gets activated. When it's activated, it moves into the nucleus, hooks up with a transcription factor, and makes a gene. Similar story. So it's basically a signal transduction molecule that's responding to light. It's pretty cool. Plants have to deal with the light they have, so they have molecules that can do that for them. And that's actually the end of this. I guess I probably could have gone with the other one, but I thought I was going to need more time.